What's going on, guys? So really excited to test out this iPhone 17 Pro here. This is a device that truly is the ultimate iPhone of 2025. This is the silver colorway. I think the blue is probably the best out of the three options. Orange is a little bit too gaudy. Silver, this two-tone finish that they have, I'm not the biggest fan. But the blue truly looks cohesive. But let's talk about the sponsor for today's video, who is nobody. So we always got to give credit where credit is due, and this was made in China. Honestly, I was expecting some of these to be made in Vietnam, but hey, looks like Apple just thinks that China has the best supply chain still, so that is completely fine. Let's go ahead and get this cut open. So this is the iPhone 17 Pro. One, two, why am I doing a countdown? Let me just... Okay. What are my thoughts? What are my thoughts? That was an amazing peel, by the way. Okay. Ooh, that's a big millimeter wave cutout. Okay, hold on. The silver is actually growing on me. This is like... Okay, I have my thoughts. Ready. I don't know if this is buyer's, what's it called? Sunken costs. You know, I've dropped like $1,000 on this device, so maybe it's just like me coping that, hey, this might actually be a good design. No, this is different from like what I see on the box. The box looks, I don't know. It looks dull, but the actual device itself looks pretty shiny. And the metal finish itself, like, this just, it looks and feels very industrial. Like, this feels like a good device. And I just unboxed the iPhone Air not too long ago. I actually much prefer the 17 Pro, than the iPhone Air. So everything that I said about the iPhone Air, null and void. This is a good feeling phone. Like, the corners are more curved, so it's more comfortable to hold. That has always been my biggest gripe whenever they went over to titanium. Even though it was softer than stainless steel. Stainless steel, it's a bit more harsh on the corners. Titanium was a little bit softer, but aluminum, this feels good. This might be my next phone. No lie. This, Apple, you did it. And the animation when I get into the phone. Hello. I don't know that language. Wow, Apple, you're selling the experience. I was gonna open this and be so disappointed by the Pro series. It's not. Like, this is... Do you guys see what I'm seeing? You gotta... I don't know. I don't know how to describe this, guys. I didn't even do a smell test. Let me smell this real quick. This smells like... Oh, God. This is the best iPhone. Whoa, what happened here? Hey, can my Spanish speakers help me with this? Oh my God, it's actually in Spanish. Wait, no! Okay, we're good. Let me just go ahead and show you guys around the device real quick. So the right-hand side, we do have the lock button and the camera control button. So if you do click this, you'll notice that it opens up the camera app. I'll talk about the camera app in a second because we do have, that new front-facing camera. On the bottom, we have speaker grills and a microphone and then the USB-C. On the left-hand side, we have our volume buttons and then the action button. I think this one's just silent and ring, as you can see here. And at the top, we have this massive millimeter wave cutout. So I expect the speech to be generally pretty good. I don't know if that's Apple trying to compensate for their newer chips that they're using, that they can't push as far, but you know, that's a design choice. I don't think a lot of people are going to care anyway. But let's talk about the design, because design is what I care about. Because as you guys can see from all these devices here on this table, not a single one of these has a case. And that is for good reason. I appreciate the engineering and the design that these people designed the phones. And I think cases are important. I have nothing against cases. It's just not for me. I prefer to just have the device look beautiful from what came out the factory. So Design-wise, Apple, you did a good job. I wish you guys had more colors, and I pray you guys don't do the whole, oh, in 3 more months, here's a new color that we should have had to kind of like revive the sales a bit. Just give us the colors at launch day. And please, on the Pro Series, have gold. Gold should be a staple color now. There should be black, white, gold, and then whatever new color you guys want to do. Just keep it like the way we've been doing it. With that being said, design-wise, this, like I might have mentioned this before, this just looks very industrial. Like this isn't a design that I would think Apple would make. And I really don't think the pictures and the marketing and the videos you guys might see from, Apple really do this device justice. Like looking at this from just a regular setting with like no crazy backdrop or anything, this actually looks pretty good. I still am not a fan of the silver two-tone. Like this looks kind of weird, but the finish of the metal, the aluminum, they did this perfectly. I actually wish they just kept this throughout the entire design, and this would have been an amazing phone. Like this actually just would have felt like I'm holding a piece of metal, and kind of like that. The blue, easily the best color on the 17 Pro series. The orange, way too gaudy, way too flashy, not something that I would rock. Although if you do get the orange, I think it could pair well with cases with different colors. I think that's where it has the strongest suit. Ooh, bro, I just thought the orange with blue would be like a Goku outfit. That is fresh. Like I was saying before, I think I'm just gonna rock this anyway. And the one thing that I've noticed that I think Apple might have taken notes from when it comes to the Pixel that now has MagSafe is when you have MagSafe, one thing that you guys might not notice is the design. Tell me what you think looks wrong with this versus something like this versus something like this, right? What is the major difference between these devices? This is what I'll say. When you have MagSafe accessories on the back of your iPhone, this cutout here just looks like wasted space. Whether you're putting something here or not, it just looks weird when you have a MagSafe accessory that typically runs the length of the phone, but there's nothing else on the top to kind of flush out the rest of this line here from the MagSafe accessory. And I think when Pixel finally put out MagSafe, and I'm sure Apple already designed this before the new Pixel came out, but notice how this top part, there's already something here that's running along the entire length of the phone. So the MagSafe accessory kind of looks cohesive with what you see. And when you take that same mindset to the 17 Pro series, it just looks more flush, more finished, and it actually looks like the MagSafe accessory should be fitted down here. And you can even see that it looks a little bit weird on something like the 16, right? Look at all this wasted space up here. And even when you're holding the device, it doesn't feel as, what's the word that I'm looking for? Your fingers just don't rest in an easy position because look where my fingers are when I hold this. It's already in this upper portion here. Same with the Pixel series. When I'm holding this, it's part of this upper camera bump, or I should say it's just part of this upper raised location. And you can tell that they cared about this because they even did this on the iPhone Air, design-wise or not, right? So subtle details that go a long way. And I do think this design is for the better of MagSafe and just other things that Apple's trying to do. Whatever you want to squeeze up here, you might as well do it. But yeah, that is the design that I enjoy. But just give us gold, please. In terms of fit and finish and how it feels comfortable. Like for a Pro device, I don't know if it's just because I've been on the 13 Pro for so long. These stainless steel sides, railing, this stuff is, it's not sharp, but it's definitely more aggressive than what you have on the 17 Pro where it's just softer. I know with aluminum from the 16 or the 15 and 16 Pro series that it was softer a little bit, but this is even softer. Like this is, it's like I'm touching a cloud against my palm and my fingers when holding this device. So Very comfortable. Not what I would expect from this industrial looking phone. Feels very gentle in the hand. So guys should also check that out if you are able to go to the Apple Store. All right, let's go. Let's do a quick speaker test. People are always like, why don't you play music? Well, I'm not trying to deal with copyright. That's why. So let's just crank this up to the good old 4K. I've been trying to transfer for the past week, and it has been one of the worst experiences of my life because I just get sent to this website. Move to iOS, and guess what? It doesn't work. So I'm going to show you some of the reality that you're going to have to face when it comes to transferring over from Android to iOS, and some things that... Let me play a couple songs real quick, because it's not confidence inspiring. Another song. Let me give me classical music. I think something might be wrong with my speaker, but you guys should try this for yourself. I'm like right here in terms of the volume, like 75, 80%. There is some crackling that's happening. And this is something that I also noticed on my 16 Pro last year. I think it was the 16 Pro Max that I had. I know a lot of people don't listen at 100%, which is why I usually go to like 80%. I think that's what most people go to. Even here, I'm hearing crackling. And when I was listening to my YouTube video, there's some crackling in my voice. I know I don't have the best like volume control in terms of like the balancing, but listening to Beethoven and even Denzel Curry, the song I was listening to before, there is some crackling even at like 70%. Little disappointing, but you know, if you don't listen to songs and videos with your speaker, you use like earbuds, AirPods Pro is what I'm trying to say, or AirPods in general. You're not going to run into this issue, but I use speaker when talking to people because I just want to be hands-free. I don't want to have my phone next to my face and next to my ear. So I'm just hoping the person's voice doesn't crackle, but a little disappointed. Thought that would be something that they would fix, but neither here or there. Let's go ahead and test out a 4K HDR video, see what the display looks like. This does go up to 3000 nits, goes down to 1 nit. Does have the ProMotion, so it goes to 120 hertz as well. Video to 4K 60, crank the brightness up. Wow, that is punching me in the face, literally. Blacks are inky black, it's OLED, it's what you expect. I think Apple's finally starting to match the competition of what we see on Android devices like the Pixel, like the Samsung, even the OnePluses as well. I think they've been lacking the last couple of years. I think the biggest fault of Apple is whenever you go outside, the display dims relatively quickly, even though you do have high nit count. So one thing I want to note with the 17 Pro, because I don't have the 17 yet, is the 17 Pro's display is what you get on the iPhone Air as well as the regular iPhone 17. So it's going to be pretty much the same across the board. The only reason why I stopped here is just to show you guys the different shades of green that you're able to see. And once again, I think Apple's just starting to match the competition, like I said before. So display, people aren't going to be disappointed. Let me get the lights back on and we can do a quick camera test. All right, so when it comes to the cameras, we do have multiple cameras. We do have even though we only see 3, we do have the ultra wide as usual. We have the 1x, which is the fusion camera, so you can tap this 2 more times. We have 28 millimeter, then we have 35 millimeter, and then it goes back to 24. We have the 2x, 4x, and then, God forbid, the 8x, which honestly still doesn't look that bad. So those are the cameras that we're working with. And you guys, if you haven't seen my Air video, we do have that new landscape on the front here, so you can just click this. All right, so one big benefit that is coming to the 17 series is center stage. So if you are FaceTiming, let me switch this back to the regular landscape here. You'll notice that if I move to the left, the camera's following me. If I move to the right, the camera's following me. If I go like in a little circle, it's all following me pretty fluidly, and that is thanks to center stage. So this, I would say, is a huge improvement to the front-facing camera outside of it now being square and being able to do landscape. So highly recommend that whenever you guys do FaceTime or video calls now, it should be more pleasant and enjoyable because center stage, it's way snappier than the MacBooks and the iPad as well. It really just keeps you in frame, so you don't have to like carry around your iPhone all the time now. You should be able to punch in and zoom in whenever you like walk away and stuff like that. So happy that this is a new addition for the iPhone 17 series. Looking at the photo here, once again, it's similar to like the iPhone Air where it's just like, it's more blurry than what I would like. Let me just do a regular photo that I typically do. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting that I have. It just doesn't look as great as it usually does. Typically, I record during the day where I have natural light. This is all studio light. So, I mean, it should still be pretty good, but not as great. The preview looks amazing. Let me try this one. What the heck? Yeah, this is just not it. It's not it. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the front-facing camera with 4K and let you know what you guys are going to get. All right, so this is the front-facing camera on the iPhone 17 Pro. You guys let me know how it looks and sounds. This is being recorded in portrait, so you guys can see, but the actual recording is in landscape, so it should be easier to hold, pan. Hopefully the quality is pretty good because from the photos that I've taken, I haven't been too impressed. But the front-facing camera gets a huge upgrade, so happy that we have this on the 17. Apple's always really good when it comes to cameras and video department, but where's my Pixel? The Pixel has entered the room, and you guys have seen my unboxing first impressions of the Pixel, and I am really impressed with the front-facing camera here. So Apple, this better be good. All right, now I'm using the back camera on the iPhone 17 Pro. You guys let me know how it looks and sounds. Hopefully I'm in frame. Hopefully you guys can hear me as well. You guys let me know if the quality looks the same, worse, or better than the front-facing camera. Hoping it's the same or better. If it's the same, then I'm hoping it's going to be like slightly worse, but good enough where the front-facing camera is passable. But I expect the back camera to be better than what we have on the front-facing camera just because our lenses are so much bigger. But you guys let me know how it looks and sounds. Other than that, it's very comfortable to hold. I prefer the aluminum, honestly, over like stainless steel and all this titanium that we've had the past couple of years. Aluminum is just softer. Yes, you have to be a little bit careful in terms of like drops and stuff, but if you're careful with your device, it's not something you really have to worry about. And if you also wear a case as well, or have a case, it's not something to be concerned about. Obviously, people are going to scare you online being like, hey, aluminum, it's worse, it's going to scratch easier, it's going to break easier. Shouldn't break because it's softer, but you're gonna have all these other problems because you're using aluminum. If you have a case, 99% of those complaints are null and void. But anyway, that is pretty much my first impressions. I think this is a solid device, literally. Do I think the Air is I don't even know where the Air is, but do I think the Air is a better product than this? No. I think the real decision is, do you want the 17 Pro or do you want the 17? And I would say, just from first impressions, if you really don't care about the camera stuff, because guys, look at this camera. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. I think 8 actually. If you don't need all this, guys, if you really just use one times, like be honest with yourself. How many times do you switch between all these different lenses? If it's less than 10% for the entire lifespan of how long you've used that phone, it's not worth it. You really just need like these 2 cameras and to call it a day. The main camera and the ultra wide. That's it. If you go to concerts and stuff, then yeah, sure, get the telephoto, but I rarely use that as is, and whenever I do a digital zoom, it's gonna look pretty terrible anyway. Not terrible, it's not gonna be as clear. I'm fine with it. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I will do a day life video with this and also do a full review. I'll compare this to the Pixel 10 Pro, the OnePlus 13, and then the Galaxy S25 Ultra. All these devices are here. The Titans have finally been assembled in the USA now that the iPhone has been released. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. And I'm happy that Apple's finally released something that is a bit different from what they've been doing the last couple of years. This industrial design, I kind of like it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys end up picking up. I appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. More videos to come. And as always, guys, much love. If there's a specific video you guys want me to see, Let me know down in the comments below as well. Until next time, guys, peace. What's going on, guys? So I'm pretty